what is the law, the command that we are supposed to obey. And from the book of John chapter 13, the verse 34, Bible says, Jesus said, "A new commandment I give unto you." And that new commandment is that you love one another as I have loved you, that you also love one another. So we realize that we have to obey the words and the commands and the laws of the King, but in this case, the King, Jesus Christ. What is his command? What are his laws? Hallelujah. And the command is, love people as I, Jesus, I have loved you. So today we will look at this particular kind of love Jesus is talking about, and what this love does in heaven. Hallelujah. What this love does in heaven. So the command is, it is a new command. The second thing Jesus said in John chapter 15, the verse 12, says that this is my commandment, that you love one another. He said, that is my commandment. So we have realized that it is his commandment and it is a new commandment. And this is a command of love, which is the same as the old command, the royal law. But in this case, we are using Jesus Christ as the focus, point of focus, not ourselves anymore. Hallelujah. Now, the question one may ask is, how did Jesus love us? How did he love us? Bible says that in the book of Romans chapter 5, verse 8, but God demonstrates his own love for us in this, that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. The emphasis and the point here is, Christ demonstrated his love for us, that while we were still sinners, he died. So he didn't wait for us to be perfect. He didn't wait for us to be made whole. He didn't wait for us to, show all the physical or the spiritual qualities and the characteristics for him to demonstrate this love. He loved us unconditionally. Hallelujah. So that is how he loved us. So if you want to use Jesus Christ as a point of reference for love, how did he show the love? While we were still sinners, he still died for us. In Matthew 20:28, Bible says, just as the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life a ransom for many. Hallelujah. To give his life a ransom for many. He came to serve. So our service, our love, demonstration of love is a service. We need to serve one another. And when we talk about the key of authority and service, we realize that kings are served. And we realize that God is a king, and that's why we serve him. And we are kings on earth, and that is why we need to serve one another. Hallelujah. So greater love has no man than this, than to lay down your life for your brother or your friend. So anytime you realize that Bible talks about love, Bible talks about commands, Bible talks about forgiveness, Bible talks about giving, Jesus will be making a point, a very strong point, by using I, by using my. He will say that it was written, but I say unto you. It was written, but I say unto you. So when we read something from Matthew 5:43-44, he said, you have heard. Jesus is saying, you have heard that it was said. You have heard that it was said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say to you, it was said. The question is, who said it? It is in the law. It was written. And these are explicit commands from God. But he is saying that, but I say to you, love your enemies. Bless those who curse you. Do good to those who hate you. And pray for those who spitefully use and persecute you. Hallelujah. It was said, but I say, what was said? He said, love your neighbor and hate your enemy. So that was the command. Let's tell honest. Love, according to some of the records of old, he said, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. You love your neighbor, for your enemy you hate him. It was said. But the question is, what did Jesus say now? He said, but I say unto you. This is what Jesus is saying. And he says that, love your enemies. Who are our enemies? That will be the next question someone may prefer to ask. Who then are my enemies? According to the book of Matthew chapter 10, verse 36, Matthew 10:36, Bible says that, and a man's enemies will be those of his household. A man's enemies will be those of his household. So your immediate household, your immediate environment where you are, the people you love most will be the people that will hurt you the most. Hallelujah. So yes, your enemies will be from your inner circle. Don't expect your enemy to come from anywhere.